Hello there, Nikki. It is me, and it is time for another episode of Nerdocity. Now, um, mm, you were right about Once Upon a Time. It premiered as you mentioned in your previous video, and I am really interested to see where they're taking this show. Now the addition of the Snow Queen, I'm not so sure about, just because the Snow Queen. Thankfully, I was terribly worried they just were going to invent her out of nowhere, but well, that's before I knew her name, but now that I know she's meant to be the Snow Queen, I know exactly where she comes from, which is good. I was didn't want them to just start inventing new characters. Now, um, another show that has been running that I'm wanting to like, but it my confidence is slipping. It was restored a bit last week. Was Gotham City, or not? Sorry, excuse me, Gotham, not Gotham City, just Gotham, which, as I mentioned before, was the new take on Batman. So far, it's had a couple rough spots, but I'm hoping it's going to find its feet and it's going to end up being a really good one. The In other nerd news, I noticed on Facebook a few days ago that Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be brought out as an animated. I'm not sure if it was animated or not. I can't remember, but it was going to be a TV series. So I am excited because the movie was absolutely amazing. And so this I'm hoping this one will actually do a very good job. Um, with the networks now. Um, in the future for TV, you might know that the Flash premiered a few days or about a week ago, and I made a point of watching the pilot for that. It's on the CW network, and so I was kind of nervous because CW hasn't always had the best record for superhero related shows, but so far, based on if I had to base it on the pilot alone, I would guess that CW has gotten it right with the Flash, and um, I also know that in a few more days, on the 24th, I do believe. Yes, the 24th is the return of one show and the premiere of another that I'm quite interested in. One is Grimm, which for those of you who might not know, it's actually a new take on the Grimm fairy tales, modernized and updated a bit. Worked on by the same producer that did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which was what got me interested in it in the first place. And Constantine is also premiering, which is another line of DC Comics that I haven't really read, but I saw the pilot and it looks very very good. Now, as to regarding your punishment, because you were late, but just because I love you and I don't want to cause you too much pain, here's what you must do. If you can find a carton of ice cream, check your fridge, your freezer, whatever. What you gotta do is, and I know I'm totally borrowing here, I should be able to invent my own, but for right now, I'm totally ripping off Hank and John. You must fill a bowl with that ice cream and watch it melt. You cannot eat it. You must fill the bowl and then watch it melt. That is your punishment. Now, the type of ice cream is up to you, whatever it is. You can do whatever you want with the flavor of ice cream, but it must be one that you like. Because if it's not one that you like, then the punishment doesn't really count. So, what you must do is find a flavor that you like, fill a bowl, and watch it melt. That is what you must do. Now, on top of everything else, I am. You're right about Big Bang Theory and the other shows that are running right now. And one other one that I thought I might bring to your attention, if you don't watch it, you should probably try, is a show called Forever. It was put out by by the ABC network, and the main reason I got interested was because it was starring uh, Owen Griffin, um, um, because it you might not know that name. That he played the in the film version of the Fantastic Four. He was Mr. Fantastic, and this show is really really good. It's called Forever, and he works as a medical examiner in New York City. But the whole premise of the show is that he has actually lived for about 200 years. For some real reason, something happened to him at some point in his life, and now every single time he dies, um, his life never ends. He dies, but he comes back to life over and over and over and over again. So he spends most of his time trying to figure out why that is, and ultimately how he can stop it, because he's been alive for about 200 years. And I have always been fans of I've always been a fan of shows with stuff like that. Now, that is not a requirement, but I recommend that you check it out if you're looking for a new show. And so that is my piece of nerd news this week, and I will post this, and I look forward to seeing what your next installment is when next you're able to post it. I'll talk to you later.